What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 4 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Lokhir Fellheart Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, Lokhir ranked up to level 20, unlocking his Sea Dragon mount Lokhir, who promptly, pulped a bunch of enemies and showed Lokhir now not just to be a duelist, but also an absolute menace to blobs of infantry. Otherwise, the hero of last episode was Admiral Calith, who acquired materials at sea and lost cargo. And while granted, those acquisitions are pretty much an inevitability in Lokhir's campaign because of the presence of, lots and lots of seagoing armies, nonetheless, it was super valuable as it allowed us to expand and pretty much invest in all of the current provinces that we had. If I had known that we would acquire that so early, I probably would have expanded a little bit harder rather than going immediately for the Black Arcs. But then again, it's Lokhir's campaign, so he should be pretty Black Arc focused. Now, in terms of what we got to do this turn, everybody's moved. There had to have been a reason why I didn't end the turn between the... Oh, I know why. Admiral Kenwovel, yes, you're just in range of Torpedoes, so we will ask Clan Scryer to join the war against the Bordeleaux errant for a solid 2.3k money. We could get a non-aggression pact with them as well. Yeah, why not? We'll get the non-aggression pact. If we want to betray them later, well, then we will be free to do so. Alright, we already used Clan Scab unto their own destruction, and, we're pretty betray happy. Maybe Skaven could even learn a thing or two. Anyway, you, my friend? Huh. Okay, I hope it's not... Come on. Come on. Game, please. Why must you make this so difficult? There you go. Alrighty, and we'll obviously auto-resolve this because it's just a garbage pile of peasants. And take a little bit of damage for our trouble, but we'll also sack the place and get our slave count back over 10k. Then, you can move out here and towards the shipwreck here. Ooh, income from sacking settlements. And then you can do this. Go into Dread Expansion. Actually, I'd like you to do two things. Go into Dread Expansion and get Infamous Raider. And three things, I lied. Let us... We do have the money. Maybe it's time. You know what? Let's get 1, 2... Okay, you know what? These guys are lower rank. Let's merge them and then delete 1. And then do 3, 4. It will mean you're sitting here for 2 turns, but it's all good. It'll be worth it. I've decided we're going to do Witch Elves in this particular army. We'll do Sisters of Slaughter in a different one. The... Death Hag, I guess, should probably spam melee defense as much as possible because she's rather low on it. In fact, if we could get something that gives her additional armor and melee defense, that would probably be quite helpful. Any armor? Let's see, Armor of Darkness is a decent 20 armor. You know what, hold on to the Cloak of Hag-Grief for now, although if we can get an Armor of Silvered Steel, I'd rather put that on you. Anyway. Other than that, we're good. We will want another Death Hag for... Well, actually, next Death Hag will probably have to go to Lokhir himself, so we'll have to wait on that a little bit. Otherwise, that was 8,000 gold, which is a fair bit, so I don't want to spend any more. And besides, we gotta end the turn. Alberic himself will attempt to attack Admiral Kenwovel. Interesting, as I take it this is his starting army, considering he has Knights of the Realm. Mr. Alberic himself is going to be something of a problem, though. That's a lot of HP and stuff we have to deal with, don't we? He has Wrath of Manan, just an aspect of Mathlan, really, so I think we have the advantage there. But he's got all those bonuses when fighting at sea, and so do we, so let's see who can win this. Is he unbreakable? He's not unbreakable. Okay, so if we kill off the rest of his army, we should be okay. Yeah.
To slaughter!
Alrighty, to slaughter indeed, Kinwovel, though whether it be our slaughter or theirs remains to be seen. Now, we've got big bonuses for fighting at sea, and obviously, as does Alberic. We're going to start the battle off by hitting him with a homing Doombolt, which does, looks like about 400 damage. Not all that much, but every little bit counts, because look at those frickin' stats. They're pretty crazy, and obviously he's only rank 18 so far, but it's certainly something that we're going to somehow have to deal with here. Hopefully the armor-piercing weapon damage on the Black Ark Corsairs, which is pretty decent, 35, will be sufficient to damage that one solo unit now that we don't have the anti-large handbows in this particular army. The Madness of Cain via Witch Elves would be nice as well, of course, which we will probably put into this army, but until we do, we're just going to have to deal with Alberic and the knights that are his signature unit alike. Speaking of, we're going to try to slow the enemy knights down as they're trying to make their way uphill and, not allow them to get their charge going. Do a little bit of damage, but it looks like they'll run off and start trying to charge downhill. Well, all we can do is our best to try to surround them and effectively prevent their maneuvering, while another, probably the third unit, will go after Alberic himself. In the meantime, the main army will clash against the enemy, though it does bug me a little bit that the Black Ark offers. I mean, it does have that magical bombardment, but really, the walls should have Reaper bolt throwers raining down fire at the enemy below. And obviously the fact that we can't Vanguard deploy wherever we damn well please on our own ship, if you can call it that. I guess it's the sort of fantasy equivalent of a craft world. But anyway, the fact that we can't Vanguard deploy on our own ship is absolutely ridiculous. Should not be a thing at all. And yeah, all those towers should be an absolute menace of Reaper bolt throwers coming down on the enemy, but I guess it would be too difficult to take a Black Ark if that was the case. Although, on the other hand, it should be really, really difficult to take a Black Ark. Even one of these sort of smaller / medium-sized ones that we have here. Obviously, this isn't the same type of Black Ark that became one of the 6 black cities of Nagaroth, rather. And there's probably more that are original pieces of the Nagaroth province of Ulthuan, because the 6 black cities are those, but for example in the Malice Darkblade books, the Black Ark of Nagor, like Nagaroth, Nagarith, Nagarond, Nagor, the Druki aren't the most original with their naming conventions, I guess. But I'm pretty sure. So Nagaroth means land of chill, and so Nagarond means Tower of Cold. So Nagor probably something along those lines as well. But anyway, that's a Black Ark as well, but isn't counted as one of the 6 main cities. So there's probably other Black Arks that are of the same sort of ancient variety, and just we don't really hear much about them. The others, like this new one, presumably, are probably just newly built on the backs of sea beasts and not pieces of Ulthuan. Although they could also probably scavenge other pieces, and obviously they maintain the know-how of how to actually build these things. Anyway, all that aside, while I've been yammering away about the Black Arks and about Druki naming conventions, the battle has come to a close, and surprisingly, we have managed to cut down all the enemy peasants, including the foot squires, which are decent, but it looks like the massive bonuses that Alberic provides were just not enough. Unfortunately, since he was not unbreakable, once all of his peasants were dead and once his Knights of the Realm were heavily damaged enough, he simply booked it on out of there. Lovely. Alright, very nice. Certainly wasn't expecting this little fight, but I'm happy to have gotten it. We got, let's see, 8k, 10k, 15k damage, and it looks like very, very slightly the Mark of Murder carries the day for the named Corsairs in this particular army. Now, I think considering our damage, we should probably heal up a little bit. I'd love to take the money, but Just heal up, and we still have a use for the pile of slaves as well, even if it isn't all that much, but nonetheless. What the heck are you doing, Britonia? Alright, this one I think we'll just auto-resolve. It is close victory and so casualties. I'm just gonna hope that it doesn't damage us too severely, because there's no need to fight effectively a weaker force. Auto-resolve. Alright, credit where it's due, though. Alberic has absolutely not been a coward this time around, and we will honor him by murdering captives.
Tell me why I shouldn't have you.
Peace treaty with Wulfric. Huh. I mean, he is at war with the other Dark Elves, but he's willing to give us 4.1k for it, so I think we'll do that. Why not? Alright, Hammer and Anvil gives us tradable resources, produce +5, and melee attack +10 when fighting at sea. Well, isn't that great? Even more melee attack for Kenwovel. Frankly, Alberic has a pretty nice defeat trade for the Black Arcs to potentially farm it. Oh, wow. And even more melee attack when fighting at sea. This army is going to have all the melee attack in the world. And Enchanted Shield, sure. Hey, Forbidden Rod, though. Nice Ephemer Bale Fiend. Huh. That's interesting. Action success chance increase for sorceresses. Okay, that's going on our first tech thief. Very much, alright. And yeah, there's that slaver. So slaves 10 per turn, casualties captured, and come from slave pens and slave markets. Definitely gotta kill off at least a few more captives, or murder a few more captives. Gotta pick up those ancillaries after all. Now, we're going to Sahagun, unless I'm mistaken, and this one on... oh, we can't sack this. It's a red territory. We'll want to occupy it at tier 2, so... and that's what we'll tier do. Go to Sahagun, but don't do anything yet. Really close victory. Close... what are you talking about? Oh, is it a minor settlement? Oh, it has the garrison, that's why. Minor settlement battle. Fair enough. You're gonna go here. Now, we do have now... huh, I thought we had Sacrifice Tanathrema up and running. Is it because you're moving? Maybe because you're moving. Yeah, okay, so we have Sacrifice Tanathrema up and running, which will give us income from sacking and raising settlements, which is always lovely to have, but it's the Black Arc growth that I really would like to have here. I guess the question is, do we want to necessarily get it this turn if we're not sacking this place? We might sack San Luis, although at the same time it might be better to just take it at tier 3 rather than sack it. I guess we'll see what the sack value is. And then Bilbali's in the same position. But yeah, the more tier 3s we have, the faster we can get to tier 4. On the other hand, tier 3 isn't that difficult to get to, minus the expense, which is 2,000 gold. Not that crazy, it's just the growth, I guess. Certainly something to consider. Alright, I'll think about it. Either way, we're not sacking Sahagun because it's because it's a red territory. Ugh, it's annoying that there's a red territory right here. But anyway, we'll attack in a second. Let's move everybody else first. So, Scout, starting with you. Keep going up north. And that hasn't changed. Admiral Karond Kar, you guys are going to stay near Mr. Lokhir. And you're rapidly approaching rank 10. Well, isn't it lovely? Admiral Moksha. Do you need to build anything right now? You're waiting for one more turn to go for the Grand Black Arc. Alright, so I would like you to leech XP out of Bilbali, and then we'll use one of these guys to leech XP out of San Luis. Oh, you can't reach it. Then I shouldn't have done that. But of course it's doing that thing because I accidentally clicked it, unfortunately. Oh, don't tell me it's gonna... don't tell me it's gonna crash now. Game, please. Wow, okay. It really doesn't like that. Alrighty, so you will now be unable to reach this place, unfortunately. And you, maybe you will be able to? You're higher level. And we could waste a point and give you Route Marcher just in case, because somebody should really, you know, leech XP there if possible. Can you go into... nah, you can't go into March Stance, but you can maybe get a little bit closer. Go this way. Alright, and then go into Dread Expansion, and you will build your... yeah, why not? It's a little bit... oh, that's actually fairly expensive. You know what? Wait on that. Maybe we should get you torture posts. You are waiting for your Black Ark. Somebody here will need to... I mean, this will give us bonus recruit rank for more Black Ark Corsairs, and it's pretty cheap, so let's actually do that. And then Moksha can't build anything. I would like to see... I think your Black Ark is effectively maxed out, minus the need to get rid of the Estates of the Masters, but we'll wait until the... what do I want to build here? Palace of Dread Knights, Dragon Tower, either one of those, basically. It will be a loss of casualty or punishment rate, but since you actually have a Death Hag... Oh, that reminds me, the Death Hag. I can never finish a thought. Let us get a Death Hag and its Blood Brews for Mr. Fellheart. And yeah, once again, Kane's Fury isn't bad, but the Rampage kind of concerns me. It's not like our melee attack isn't already super high, specifically on the Black Ark Corsair armies. And the recovery plus physical resistance and will be really nice when the Death Hag is eventually inevitably on that Cauldron of Blood to support everybody. And Dark Elves are one of those factions where you oftentimes want one of several heroes. Like, you pretty much always want a Sorceress, well, off or a non-Sorcerer Sword for magic, and you pretty much always want a Death Hag for the replenishment and the supporting Cauldron of Blood, and then you pretty much always want at least one master for the purpose of getting the unbreakable trait. Alright, there's... could build you. Or maybe we're okay. You are trying to... Yeah, alright, wait. We do have one more Black Ark, Admiral Kaleth. Still looking for islands, minus this one, which I screwed up. Alright, go back really close to it. And we'll grab it next turn. And then we'll be able to... Oh, I should have probably built and upgraded stuff this turn, but whatever. Shipwreck. Shipwreck is a battle, right? Yeah, it's a battle. Alright, so back off. And we'll battle it next turn. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Anything else other than, well, potentially a little bit of building. Not much, I'd wager, but some. Let's do the... Oh, wow, slave districts cost 2,000. Oh, I miss you already, materials, let's see. I miss you so much. But what can you do? We'll build that up, and then Greedos Road, we will immediately upgrade the Dark Tower and the Slave District here as well. Lovely, and then just to double check, everybody is in demand highborn hostages? Yes, indeedio. Do we need to collect money here? 165, kind of not worth it, I'd rather have you grow. Alright, building upgrade available, what are you talking about? Oh. That's a Black Ark building, yeah, sure, fair enough. Unassigned skill points we can ignore, and I guess we can attack. And I guess to avoid casualties, we will just we'll manually fight it. Why not? Alrighty, no mercy indeed, though I don't think you have to tell the Sea Dragon twice. Although I would wonder what the comparison of intelligence between Sea Dragons and regular dragons is like. But anyway, here we go. We're gonna start the day off with showing the Vampire Coast mastery of the Briny Depths as we use the Briny Breath, which looks exactly like the animation for the summoning of the Rotting Prometheans on the enemy as we barrel through the line of units of deckhands mobs and sort of tie up the enemy units of Rotting Prometheans, partly because it would take a long time to bring them down with our Corsairs, and it's just better to have Lokhir deal with it for us. Similarly to what we did last episode, we're moving in more Black Ark Corsairs over on the right flank to hunt down any enemy units that are not protected by enemy melee. Here we have the use of the Rubric of Dark Dimensions. I keep wanting to call it Pit of Shades, which is what the spell is, admittedly, but that's what the item is called. On a couple of units, severely damaging about 80% a unit of zombie-powered gunnery mob and zombie deckhands mobs. Granted, they're only deckhands mobs or zombie mobs, and they're not critically important units. The enemy can lose zombies in droves, which is kind of the whole idea. Otherwise, we got the first of the Black Ark sport abilities coming down on one of the enemy mortars. It's kind of interesting how this particular battle, both in the terms of this being the same settlement layout, that's the one, layout, and the sort of unit type similar to what we fought with the Imperials previously, including with the mortar firing down on us from over the buildings and all that. But anyway, finally, it looks like we've done and taken enough damage from Murderous Prowess to activate, and we're going to start cutting the enemy down all the faster. Mr. Lokhir has peeled away and is dealing damage to a couple of enemy range units, so they don't gun our other units down, though he himself is admittedly taking a fair bit of damage himself, having lost about 30% of his HP so far, and that's with 51% missile resistance and 28% ward save. So yeah, definitely going to need that regen. We'll work on it, probably this episode, to be perfectly honest. Otherwise, he's going to be damaged every single battle. Anyway, the rest of the battle continues. Of course, the enemy rotting Prometheans have been joined by some animated Hulks, ogre corpses, hoping to defend against us. And though they seem like a sort of frenzied damage dealer unit with a very low melee defense and melee high attack, essentially the equivalent to Chaos Spawn, including using the same animations as Chaos Spawn that the Vampire Coast has, they're actually surprisingly tanky. I really enjoy using them myself. They're also really cheap to construct. A great unit for the Vampire Coast, but anyway. They'll hold us up, but hopefully not for too much longer, as the Kraken's Blades and the rest of the units of handbows and gun them down with all those anti-large handbows. Also, before I forget, we did reach the engagement threshold, so this is obviously going to be a longer, hour-long, hour-adjacent, etc. episode, and the engagement threshold remains 500 likes, 70 comments, and the next episode will be an hour-ish long as well. Anyway, the match power shifted to about 90% in our favor. The enemy are falling, and it looks like our Manticore and our Sorceress of Death, which again I've been using a lot to actually wade into combat, might actually have to make our Sorceress a little bit more fighty, and admittedly she does have a fairly high melee attack, if not weapon strength. But yeah, she's been flying around with that Manticore going after critical targets. They together have killed off the enemy Lord as well as the enemy Mortar, and have damaged the Vampire Fleet Captain, are continuing to damage said Vampire Fleet Captain with Spirit Leeches. As soon as that zombie pirate deckhand mob moves away with those darn halberds or pole arms of theirs, we'll go after the Captain as well, though by the looks of the melting away that said Captain is doing, there isn't even any need. And there we go. One last little bit of Black Ark support comes down on a now isolated unit of zombie pirates boarding crew, and their pistols will not win out against our Black Ark Corsair handbows with 77 missile strength on them. Pretty darn solid, though you gotta remember that this is in SFO buffs. For example, in my Thorgrim campaign, we managed to get Slayer pirates hitting for over 100 damage with their pistols, and also like 70 speed or something insane like that, so yeah. Admittedly, I was pretty focused on buffing those unit types, because once again, it's my favorite unit archetype, but the point stands. We could probably get the Black Ark Corsairs with handbows even stronger, and this is about on par with what we can get. Anyway, one last enemy unit remains, and it... two last units remain? Okay, there was briefly, very briefly, another unit out here, and there's this deckhands mobs, which surprisingly has not melted away. Alrighty, well, here comes the Sea Dragon, here comes the Dark Pegasus riding Sorceress, and I'm sure the Manticore's around as well. Oh, and one of the Masters is booking it over as well. As well. There we go, one last briny breath. And the Sea Dragon emerges from it, but very few zombies do. And there we are. With that, the battle is ours. Close victory, apparently. We did expend ammunition and took some damage, but at the end of the day, they stood no chance against Lokhir's Corsairs. Alright, there we go. Though, considering how, well, Lokhir became, many times more killy, but also many times more vulnerable due to all the range fire, and now that he's a pretty big old target. But what can you do? All we can do is try to stack those resistances. Anyway, and well, we're gonna occupy the place. Much as I'd love to sack it, it's a decent chunk of change, but not worth it in the red territory. Wait, do we automatically take it at... I don't remember.
Ticket.
Yeah, okay, we take it at tier 2, not tier 3. Not tier 1, rather. Good. That's what I wanted. All right, Camring, are you rank 10 yet? No. Oh, come on, man. so close. Alrighty, well, once we besiege San Luis, then you should get to rank 10, and then we'll pick your name. Otherwise, everything is good here. And just gotta get the extra heals out of our Death Hag, and the place will be fine. We'll wait on the right, and I think there's nothing else that we can do or should do this particular turn, meaning we can end said turn. Yes. Skip, end turn. Oh, man. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to deal with it. It's too good of a buff to pass up. -5 control for all provinces. That's gonna hurt, not gonna lie. Every single province will start going into the negative. We have a few turns until we can pop off a one turn until we can pop off a diktat again and everywhere we want. So if we wanted to, we could use the slaves for that and then max ourselves out again, which might be nice. Oh, and I noticed that max recruitment cost is reduced, eh? Would have been nice to have that here, but oh well. Faction destroyed Darkland Orcs. Ambusher discovered one of the beastmen who apparently took out Siernos. Okay. Evil Choirmaster again. Sterling Crown claimed. And we're good. Alrighty, so first of all, I guess... Okay, wait, how much is this? Yeah, 11k is a fair bit. I think we'll just level it back up to where it needs to be. So, first of all, we'll pop Sacrifice to Anathrema to increase the income from sacking settlements. Perform right. Alright, then Mr. Admiral... I forget which one. Okay, so it was Admiral Balthanol. You reached rank 10 already. Oh, fantastic. Okay, first of all, you're gonna go here. And then we'll have you besiege this, or, you know... blockade it, but either way, gambling time. Choose a name of power. Come on, something good. What do we have here? Tempest of Talons. This gives you Cold One Knights, so they're very expensive though, at least for now, or Shadow Darts, so it's the Shade version. 50% increase range for Shades. Admittedly, well, while this is an insane buff, the main issue is that you don't have any particular buffs directly for Shades. Honestly, either one is fine. I think Shades we can get a lot cheaper and earlier though, so I think we'll go for pick off their leader and do Shadow Dart for this particular one. Anyway, let's give this a read. Whilst traveling a dangerous and treacherous road, your entourage is set upon by a horde of beastmen. You believe you can fight them off, but there are options. Either charge into the fight with the cold ones at your side, or slip away to safety and pick off their leader from the shadows. Pick off their leader. Such low, mindless creatures are undeserving of the honor of honest Druki warfare. From the safety of the forest, kill their leader, then watch the rest scatter. Alright, Shadow Dart it is for you, sir. Not Dark Shards, but Shades. Alright, let's move everybody else around before we get into this. Jaden here is going to move up here. I assume we will have additional capacities for Death Hags? Yes, indeed, we will. Alright, we still have that Kane's Fury one available should we want it. I'll think about it. Scout, keep scouting, as one does. Admiral Karond, you are going to get close, so right here. And you will want to build stuff, so let's get you... Oh, actually, you're one more turn away. Alright, fair enough. Admiral Moksha, you... Well, I was going to have you leech out of Bilbali, but you could probably go in the meantime to Barboza, but at the same time, maybe we'll use your Black Ark support at San Luis, and just go here. Oh, too far? Fine, go back a teensy bit. You'll still be able to reach Bilbali either way. Either way, we want the Grand Black Ark here. And Camring, so close to rank 10. Alright, we just need that fight and then we'll be able to do it. Mr. Caliph, alright, so you are going to grab this island that I foolishly missed and sail to the wreck and auto-resolve for obvious reasons. A little bit of damage and murder captives. And did that get... didn't give us a slaver this time. Do you already have one? You do not. You disappoint me, Caliph. However, you got us materials at sea, so out of everybody you get a little bit of leeway. Anyway, Dread expansion, and you're well on the way to rank 10 as well, so that's nice. We'll build you Warrior Hall and Estates of the Masters as well. Both of those are very much needed. You probably want to get your slave hold as well. That's necessary everywhere. You will want a sorceress's cabin. In fact, we should probably build this right now as well, because you need to get a mage for yourself. And then lastly, we will want to start moving through the Black Ark support abilities, so let's start building them. Alright, another Black Ark that is up and coming. Good. What else do we have other than Lokhir and Cammering? I guess we do potentially have some buildings to be building. Not that much, I'd wager, once again, though. Guild halls, yes. Bay of Quietude, what do we have here? Guild halls, go figure, for more money. And then here, Sahagun, which we just took. Keep the Dark Elf residences for the additional growth for now. Otherwise, Sahagun, this is a red territory, eh? What does this do for us again? So it's construction time, construction cost, and oh, and it reduces income as well. That's a little bit unfortunate, considering we'd probably be making a lot of decent cash out of this particular province. That said, it's a severe enough reduction that it might not be worth it to build a guild hall here, so maybe we'll use this province for capacities. So Halls of Ravaging and Cainite Temple and whatever else we can get for capacities. So Halls of Ravaging / conscription halls it is. Also, wait, out of curiosity, we could build a Black Road here, income from tariffs, income from all buildings in all regions in province, but it doesn't have income itself, so that might work. I'm just checking what else we could possibly build here. We could also build a slave pen here. It is all regions in province, but it's kind of weak, so... Yeah, alrighty. Cainite Temple for the capacities for Death Hags and Assassins and Reavers, and conscription halls. Alrighty, good for you. Also, this guy's gonna need a shade building, right? Yeah, Mr. Shadow Dart. Shade building is right here. 275. The basic shades are 225. I mean, we can, you know, over time build more and more. We don't necessarily immediately have to build a huge amount. We will want you to build fighting pits and max that out for when you recruit. And I'd love to max out all of the Black Ark support abilities on you. Expensive though they may be. But maybe we wait on it? Screw it, just do it now. I want this army to be self-sufficient as soon as possible. Oh, and Kenwovel, you are done recruiting. Beautiful. Your sorceress is hurt. Oh, let's level up everybody while we're at it. Let us have you get Wild Heart into Flock of Doom. Death Hag. We want to max out replenish troops, and that's the only thing we have right now. And then you have gotten Infamous Raider now. We probably want to go towards Quartermaster. It's a relatively cheap army already, but this is something that's really valuable for the Black Arks. All of them being around effectively free is going to be really nice. Well, maybe not free, but cheap at the very least. And, I noticed that there's another little army here. You could sack this again, can't you? Go sack it again. Just to kill the army, get a little bit of extra XP. Auto resolve. Peasants got brought back anyway. Oh, wow, it keeps hurting that sorceress. Sack it again. Alrighty, and then go to the island. Enemy killed in battle. High Elf Slave income from all buildings. Great. We will make use of one of these, but not in a Black Ark, obviously. Go to the shipwreck. And let's see about auto-resolving this. Explore the island, and this won't kill our sorceress, will it? I'm willing to bet she'll go down to, like, 1 HP, though. Or at least close to it. And here we will... You know, let's heal up. We're fairly damaged now. Alright, see if we get anything good out of this. And just money. But money's always good, so no complaints there. And then I'd like you to go into the Great Ocean, because we heal more in Great Ocean than we do in enemy territory. And then you can proceed to Silent Isle next turn. Lovely. Heal, Dread Expansion, and onward. Plenty more sacking to do down this coastline. I mean, you gotta get another Black Ark ready to sail maybe here to Albion, or maybe past Albion and into Norska. Think of how many ports there are here, 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 and I guess all along. Yeah, we'll probably need several Black Arks to be sailing this. But I guess we'll need several Black Arks everywhere. And thanks to Old World being such a massive map, look at all these rivers where we can even send Black Arks down into the Empire to mess with them as well. That'll be fun, I'm sure. Let's see. Anyway, I believe we're going in. So, Mr. Fellheart, go to San Luis, please.
Cruel and deadly.
Like so. Pyrrhic victory, you say? Well, we'll see, but that does warrant a fight, I'd wager. You... wait.
Feared by all.
You.
I approve of these dark.
I assume you can reach the place to blockade it? Let's find out in a second. Yes, you can. Alright, I just want you to leech XP.
None
Even though you've already got your rank 10, and then you'll continue to build that stuff afterwards. And then Cammering. Oh, you reached rank 10. Perfect. It is... Revered Name of Power. Name of Power that improves Lord's Army. Alright, Moment of Truth. I love this gambling aspect of this particular thing. Let's see what we got. Barb Storm. Range and missile strength. Unfortunately, these are kind of meh. But Barb Storm is better than nothing. And it's kind of a generic one. It's just that I wanted to put Harpies in this army since this guy buffs Harpies. This gives us no real benefit, to be perfectly honest. So I guess we're gonna go with Barb Storm. Missile strength and range and ammunition. Shoot them all. Let me just see here. What can we do? So yeah, Grim Feasts gives us buff for Harpies. So we could use Harpies and obviously buff them, and then maybe combine some Black Ark Corsairs, Dark Shards, and Reaper Bolt Throwers for this. Seems like the thing to do. And then we can put a few other range units in here. We also, since this is a Beastmaster, we can also get benefit out of any Dark Riders. This, oh! I know what we can do with this army. Yes, Ruinous. I don't remember if there, I think there is a separate trait that buffs Dark Riders. But I do like the idea of an army with the combination of Dark Riders and Harpies to carry an enemy army as well. What's the speed on Medusa, incidentally? 65, there's potential there as well, although I have an idea for a Medusa heavy army as well. That doesn't mean we need more than like 1 or 2 in there. Anyway, alright, Cammering, we have an idea for what you're gonna do. Anyway, you're gonna go and help out at San Luis. Well, let's do it.
Be merciless. The Kraken rumbles. The riches and murder await.
Alrighty, well, the riches and murder may await, but it's going to take a little bit of hammering away at that gate before we can, get on in there. Still, like I said in the last episode when we were fighting the Vampire Counts, and I guess the Imperial, well, the Southern Realmers, as well, I like it when we end up fighting the same faction, but on different types of maps. Not just on different maps, but like fight a minor settlement siege, fight a major settlement siege, fight a field battle, all of that, rather than just field battles, etc, etc. So, should be nice to enjoy this siege. Anyway, I'm going to speed this up for obvious reasons. That gate's going to take a little bit of hammering our way through, but Lokhir, unlike the other armies, won't be in need of any of those siege units because we can just break through the gate with his Sea Dragon. Admittedly, the enemy will stop the Sea Dragon in place with those rotting Prometheans, which it put right behind the gate, which means Lokhir will get hit with a pretty big old volley from all those zombie guns, losing about 30% of his HP. He really needs to push on through those Karabi boys, as if he doesn't, he's going to lose even more. I'm going to try to help him out a little bit by popping off a Rubric of Dark Dimensions ability, a Pit of Shades, on a unit of enemy hand cannons. They do quite a bit of damage with their volleys. And then Lokhir will move to tie them up, while our Sorceress of Death with her little pet Manticore here. I do like this little tag team that we've got going here between these two. I was originally thinking we move the Manticore out of Lokhir's army, but I think I might actually keep it. And these two work well together. Anyway, Lokhir's gonna help them out with a Black Dragon egg ability, though admittedly it doesn't do all that much here, but that's alright. Lokhir has cleared out those other two, or the remnants of those two range units, is now moving back into the fray to go after the enemy Vampire Fleet Captain. And Admiral, I suppose, though the Admiral's having a somewhat bad time dueling this Master here. Master's lost about 10% of his HP, and the Admiral has lost about 60% of hers. Lokhir has nearly killed off the Vampire Fleet Captain. Looks like one more hit, and there we go. Obliterated by that Sea Dragon. And Lokhir will move to try to deal with some sirens, or at least hit them. Then we will pop off a vile net to keep them in place and do a little bit of extra damage to them. I imagine it's not magical damage, but it'll still annoy them decently well. While Lokhir will move yet again. He does bounce around a lot between enemies on that Sea Dragon, but I do really like it that way. The more we can disrupt enemy formations and prevent enemy range units from firing, the more effective it is. And of course, when we activate his ability, he gets that massive stat upgrade, plus 25 out of Dreaded Duelist. Kills the enemy lord while that's going, or enemy hero, or enemy single entity, and then once it's on cooldown, that's when it's a good time to go after enemy infantry units. And it works pretty darn well, as we can see. Lokhir may have lost a ton of HP, but he's also killed 200, nearly 300 units, and done 35,000 damage, probably much more than the rest. The AI is still doing a very good job at keeping us from actually entering the gate, which we knocked down a long time ago now, but between the sirens, which are obviously physically resistant, massively physically resistant, and SFO, and the fact that we have the Rotting Prometheans, a very highly defense-focused unit, it's really hard to break through them, especially since Lokhir's busy with other stuff, but you can't have him do everything. Though, with the briny breath and his magical damage, I'm sure he will have severely damaged this unit of sirens. The Manticore's still in the fight as well, and hasn't taken nearly as much damage as in previous times, and nearly done 10,000 as well. Generally speaking, with Manticores, okay, so in SFO, Eagles have multiple models, I believe 4 of them, and in Vanilla they have just the 1. So in Vanilla, I would like to use Great Eagles and Manticores in a similar way, as in usually in pairs or in trios to attack together, because they're relatively fragile alone. And what I was getting at was that in this army, we have the 1 solo Manticore. And like I said, I like to use them in multiples, but I suppose if they continue the tag team with the Dark Elf Sorceress, and then we can make her a little bit more fighty via items, that can sort of make up for the lack of the duo or trio. And in whatever other army or armies we put Manticores in, we can do the old duo or trio tactic with them. Anyway, finally, we've broken through the gate, primarily with the Twin Blade units, with obviously the support of the handbows firing through the open gate, but it looks like the enemy basically sent all of its units to defend the gate, and thus most of the army is already destroyed, and we don't really have to use too many of the units once they've actually broken through the breach. But oh well, that's fine. We had plenty of work for the Sea Dragon. And it's a very entertaining unit to watch. And of course our little Manticore friend as well, which is going to move on in. And just to tie up that unit of zombie-powered gunnery mob before Lokhir moves on in, so that the same said gunnery mob did not have the opportunity to fire upon him. Don't want him to take any more volleys here, ideally. The little unit of zombie parts is down to 50% of its HP. The Ice Blades have arrived. And again, like I said, I'm going to build an army that's based around the Ice Blades and a few other units. I think it'll be interesting, and we'll take them out of Lokhir's army when we're ready for that. Right now, we're focusing on Black Ark armies, or fleets, for obvious reasons. And the really obvious reason being that they're a lot cheaper to field than regular armies, so instead of like 1 regular army running around, we can have several Black Ark armies running around, or fleets doing their thing, which is the better option. Anyway, the battle has not ended apparently, because there is 1 more unit of handguns. Let's see. Okay, so Lokhir, you're going to have to risk a volley here. There we go, they're gonna hit you. You will still get the charge in. It looks like he will survive. And oh, in its rage, the Sea Dragon brings down whatever little structure was in its way there before charging on through. Lokhir is down to about 20% of his HP, but I doubted that this 1 single unit could kill him. 1 last and third use of briny breath to do a little bit more AoE damage. 1 of the Masters and the Manticores, or the Manticore rather, have closed the distance, and slowly but surely the Scions of Karond Kar have moved on in as well, bringing down the last of the units and giving the battle to us. Lovely. Alrighty, very nice work. Lokhir kills nearly a third of the enemy army himself, getting a massive 50,000 damage and 460 kills, which, considering he's not a caster, pretty darn solid. He is, once again, though, still vulnerable to range fire, so we're really gonna need to grab that Kraken Helm pretty much immediately. But anyway, we also, damage-wise, probably first in. Lokhir's cutlasses did the most damage, and that should hardly be of any surprise. Some solid work out of the Manticore as well. Good job, little fella. Alright, we will sack the place. I mean, it's hard to say no to 14k. Yeah, sack it. And then look here. Okay, I wish you hadn't moved that far, but it looks like you're still okay. Oh, If you go into regular stance, you can... Oh, I was about to say go into Sahagun, but that actually is a bad idea, isn't it? If you go into encamp... You know, go into encamp and stay in this territory, and then we're moving to Bordeleaux anyway, so go like right here, and we'll send Mr. Cameron to grab San Luis and occupy it, like so. We'll take it to tier 2 instead, and that's just fine. Repair it, and then go for demand highborn hostages. Black staff, ooh, hello, spell intensity and power recharge out of that. Not bad, and Schmidt's renegades have been destroyed. Province secured. And Admiral, you stay here. Now that we got money, I think rather than having Lokhir recruit, we can have you do it yourself. Huh. Oh, so armies within the circle of influence doesn't in fact apply to yourself. I just wanted to check that. Alright, so unfortunately that means we'll have to... Well, you know what? You guys can build troops for each other then, I guess. Or we can have Cameron do it. Do we want to start this turn? If we wait 2 more turns, we'll get 2 more chevrons on these guys. And we got to build up the Shades building anyway. Yeah, alright, we'll build up the Shades building. And this guy will be ready to go to do his own thing. And then maybe while we're here, we'll build a few buildings, or build a few things for the High Beastmaster as well. Huh. We could temporarily, at least, build you the Dark Rider building. It's going to be pretty cheap. They're fairly easily... acquired, might warrant doing so. Plus, we can combine their shield breaker with potential dark shards. We do have at least 1 unit. I swear we had some others, didn't we? One of the other... Oh, you have some. Well, until you're rank 10, we don't know whether those guys will be good for you or not. But hopefully you'll be ranked 10 soon. Anyway, there is nothing else to do this particular turn, is there? Hopefully these guys don't immediately declare war on us and go for Sahagun, but if they do, they do. We'll just have to deal with it. Lokhir, do you want to build anything? We do want the sorceress's abode everywhere. Oh, we want the prison wing, don't we? Yeah, alright, we have to have that. Frankly, I am dumb for not building it earlier. Come on, Ronus, what are you doing, man? Oh well. We moved the Death Egg, I take it? That was this turn? That was this turn. So, let's go to the next turn. Alright, oh, it looks like they're trying to sail out because they know what's coming for Bordeleaux, although they got a lot of great swords in there. Good for them. Hey, more melee attack when fighting at sea, and more recruit rank for... Oh, well, we were just about to start recruiting for Dark Riders and Shades and Black Ark Corsair. I did this on purpose. Definitely did this on purpose. Completely on purpose, I swear. We also want Harpies, so that's armor piercing for them. And Dread Spears, Dark Shards, and Bleak Swords, this one we can ignore for now. You know what? I think we'll go for upgrade 1. I did want to get... What was it? This one. Witch Drafts, Casualty or Punishment Rate +5. Yes. Anything else interesting here? Oh, Missile Strength and Weapon Strength for Corsairs. Yeah, more buffs for Corsairs is always nice. We got more out of reworked crossbows as well, so no, the heck not. Anyway, let's move everybody first, and then we'll deal with stuff later. You, Jaden, will be... But it looks like just slightly unable to reach Lokhir. Kind of, maybe. Wait. You, Cameron, briefly grab from Lokhir the Dread Spears, which we will put to use in some army, I'm sure. They've been around for a long time. They're rank 7 now, so I don't think that we should let them go to waste. Bordeleaux, you're currently at war with Eshin. Give us money, rats. And then we might kill you. Let's attack Bordeleaux. And, yeah, oh man, come on, Beastmen. I'm gonna capture all of this and then give it, sell off to these guys. Beastmen always causing problems, but what can you do? Also not a fan of the Slaneshi corruption rising here, but a few Cainite temples should round that out. Ooh, also, start collecting income here, and, well, yeah, it's 500, it's not so bad. It's down the way, so we can immediately upgrade you to level 3, so yeah, go for it. And then here, I'm gonna say the Cainite temple gotta counteract that vampiric corruption after all. Alrighty, all of that looks good. Now, back to moving stuff. So, Jaden... wait, Lokhir, I would like you to go into Druki First Strike and go into Bilbali. I want to see if we can get Jaden into your army. Are you... Thank you, game, please. Please. Why you do this? Like... So... Here. Need that replenishment. And the support.
Death hag ready.
There we go, alright. And Admiral Moksha, you have several things to do. Thing the first, kill Jovi Gutbub. And then we'll blockade immediately after. Like so, out of resolve for obvious reasons. It would be really nice to hit rank 10, like, right now. Heal up because we're going to... Actually, this is barely anything. You know what? Murder captives. Maybe we can get a slaver out of this. No dice, oh well. Then go to Bilbali. With the reinforcements, blockade, we will have Lokhir sack it for 10k. And I assume nobody will die. And resolve. A bit of damage, but that one was obviously not worth fighting, and then we'll sack the place. Alright, and then... Hello, passive ability Frenzy. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Lokhir doesn't have Frenzy, so that could be a potentially decent power-up for him. I guess we could have you take this, or we could start you moving to Barboza and have... Can Cameron reach this? No. So either Lokhir reaches it, well, he's basically out of movement anyway, so yeah, fine. You go to Bilbali, and you occupy it. Immediately. Lovely. Thanks for the frenzy. You can uncollect the income here. We will repair the place, but delete this place. There's also Skaven corruption to deal with. You... Hey! What is this, Snitch? Well, I was planning to attack Snitch anyway, so... Especially now that these guys are kind of out of the way. And we can move down through the Irana Mountains to here as needed. So it's probably what we'll end up doing. Anyway, Admiral Moksha, you are so close to rank 10 now. Let's build you up the stuff that needs to be constructed. We do want the Sorcerer's Cabin, but let's start maybe on the Slave Hold, and then we need to upgrade the same thing in Lokhir's army. What we also need to do is get our next Black Ark Fleet Master up and running, like so. And you can dread expansion and get yourself Inspiring Presence to start racking up that little bit of XP. Mr. Cameron, you're going to go right here near to Bilbao. And then you other admirals are gonna follow. Though not to worry, soon you'll both be recruiting. In like a turn or two. Alright, good and good. And then you can upgrade your Black Ark, you can upgrade your arena and your shade structure, perfection. And you will need a sorcerer's building, but you can't afford it yet. Alright, all of these Black Arks are doing their thing. Next up, Mr. Kenwovale. You are going to the Silent Isle, which honestly isn't worth that much sack value-wise, but... we could also occupy it and use it as a base here. Oh, wait, there's also Bordeleaux. Do we want to... We want to immediately occupy it. It's got some good stuff. Or do we want to sack it and return to it? I guess right now, maybe we'll wait. Maybe we'll sack it and get back to it. Anyway, speaking of sacking, you. Silent Tile, auto-resolve. Asp Bow. Enables poison attacks, we'll take it. Base missile damage plus 20% as well. Alright, we will sack the place. And, okay, huh, you can hold on to that for now. Actually, I don't remember, do you guys have a contact effect normally? Let me just see here. You guys do not have a normal contact effect, alright, well. Castle Bordeleaux is right here, so you're going to move towards it. Stack value 7.4k, we'll come back for it later, and then we'll go into Dread Expansion. This poor sorceress, by virtue of being on a dark steed, is constantly getting very badly damaged. You know what? I'm gonna take you off the steed at least until you're fully healed up, and then we'll see. Hopefully that will not be a problem. Anyway, How are we for ranks? Ooh, these guys are all rank 7. Alright, I was going through Draft Master into Quartermaster, but I think we'll go through Slaughter Lord just to get into the rank 7 buff out of Ravager rewards. And then we'll go back to that thing. You will also want to grab Retinue Physician as fast as you can, so maybe after, yeah, we'll take Compassion, but we'll save all skill points afterwards. And then you will want to max out both Flock of Doom and Vision's Wild Form, because those are the spells you will be using the most often. Alright. And well, obviously, this isn't the final form of this army. We'll pop a few monsters in here, maybe a master, although the masters aren't as needed for the Black Arc Lords as they are for regular lords who can get actual mounts. Ooh, we got another Blood Brews available. Oh, that's lovely. So that one is for Camring.
Yes.
Alright, you know what? Let's summon... Is this closer? Then... Where's the nearest Cainite temple? Wait, do we have any Cainite temples on any of you guys? You know. And we got Sons of Murder available again. Oh! Shadow Magnet Trinket. Missile block chance plus 20 if out of melee. Oh, I like this. Alright, we'll take you. Okay, wait, this is actually potentially useful. And it's for everybody. Alright, we'll take you. I'm wondering whether we should replace this guy with Black Swag, which is generalist, as a generalist thing is fine with the high melee defense, but these guys could probably use the range buffs, but either way, we'll pop them into at least one of the Black Arcs. What else do we have here? Hero-wise, we should continue taking a look at this. And we do have another Black Swag one. Huh. For the melee-focused armies, it's better, but for the range-focused armies, maybe the other thing is better. But anyway, I think it's just as far, so let's summon the Death Hag here, then. Blood Brews. Infamous Poisoner, no poison contact effect. Yeah, Blood Brews for you. Another lovely hero. And then I forgot about you. Scout and... oh, right, the other Black Arc. Alright, good. And... where are we? Not Conwovel, not Beltham and Calith. That's you. So close to rank 10, alright. Do you need to build anything up? We should build a cell deck, so I guess we can keep moving in regular stance. Alright, come on, more islands. One more will take us to level 10, so we just gotta get there, but might as well keep building those cell decks. We got 2 more near rank 10. More gambling. Lovely to see. Anyway, let's go for Miramar Hills. Ugh, I hate to see all that public order dropping, but there isn't much we can do about it. Oh, I see your public order is being awful now, too. Saphiro Hills. Ugh. That's with the plus... this is with plus 25 public order. Good lord. That is not great. Alright, well, we'll wait until it runs its course, then we'll probably pop a public order diktat if the public order doesn't start fixing itself. Do we want to get the fighting pits here? You know what, let's get it just so I don't have to look at this every single turn. And then we'll deal with it later. And this is with this place not collecting income, mind you. But what can you do? Anyway, I believe we haven't checked Diplo in a couple of turns, so let's see what we've got here. Eshin wants to trade, and oh, they're actually quite friendly with us, aren't they? I don't like the idea of sharing all these ports with them, however. I would be fine if they wanted to stick to these mountains and these hills, but they're looking to take Barboza, and they're gonna take Alcazaro. Admittedly, we could leave them to this and then trade them some interior territories, like here, for example, if we wanted to. Or even trade them the mountains belonging to the Cult of Sotek rather than Clan Scryer. And leave them as an ally. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do yet, so I'm going to stop thinking about it for now. Do any of you want to start recruiting yet? No, we're waiting until the recruitment building is built up. So, I guess that's another end turn, right? I assume I didn't forget anything? Well, let's find out in turn. Alright, looks like no attacks, and Barboza hasn't fallen. Please tell me you can reach it before Snitch returns there. Oh, just short by the looks of it. Unfortunate.
Set the sails.
Get close at least. and give it a try. There's that hero self-defense chance, which is fine, and... Nah, you're not able to. Dang, so close. Oh well. And these guys are moving away after presumably having sacked it. Oh, okay. We'll grab the cell decks here, which... well, we'll ignore the arena, and... we'll want to start moving through the sacrificial pits, but that's fine. Alright, looks like Fellheart can't reach this. And if we ignore this, these rats, we'd have to move down there. Though, if we want to go after the Wood Elves, now is probably the time. Admittedly, they don't hate us, but they won't appreciate our alliances with other factions. Minus 49. They certainly wouldn't let us align with the rats. Ooh, anyway, I want to see whether Caliph will reach rank 10 this turn. Wait, first of all, Trillion, you are going back this way. You can Woveil. Oh, you know what you're gonna need? These guys won't be able to sally out, and we won't be able to... oh, you need a... you need artillery. I'd hate to lose... oh, actually, these two aren't very high ranked. You know what? I think you'll take the turn then. Delete these two. You will on occasion be needing to siege, and until you have a monster, you'll need to be able to use Reaper Bolt Throwers. So we'll do that. At least they only take the one turn to build. Yeah. Alright. Fair enough, then you can go after Bordeleaux. Here, like I said, I wanted witch drafts, so let's get that casualty or punishment rate, and then we'll go for the stuff that further buffs our Corsairs. Because you can't have too many Corsair buffs. Scout, keep on scouting as you do. Hargan, I haven't decided which army you're going to go into, so just sit pretty for a minute. Let's... where's Caliph? Caliph, you. You reached rank 10 without needing another island. Isn't that lovely? Revered Name of Power. Let's see what we got. Alright, we got Beastbinder, upkeep production for Harpies, where, oh, that's the thing I was hoping for that other guy, to buff those Harpies further, versus Fang Shield. Leadership for Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, Dark Shards, and physical resistance for Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, and Dark Shards. That one kind of bores me, to be perfectly honest. This one does buff War Hydra and Charybdises, and Worm, and Sea Dragon. And by Worm, I take it means the not the Sea Dragons, but the Helldrake packs. Maybe we'll pop a few of them in here. Yeah, I think we'll do a Beastbinder, even though it feels like it would be better for a Beastmaster, but then they will just play second fiddle to the Black Ark Corsairs. Alright. There we go. That means you, Caliph, are going to need a Beast Tower, because, well, you're out here, all the way out here alone. And you'll need to recruit your own stuff, rather than having somebody else do it for you. So, it is what it is. Go into Dread Expansion, and ooh, since you reached rank 10, we can go Ship's Navigator. And definitely Unshakable. Bonus versus large in replenishment rate. Definitely magical attacks for the entire army. And I'm going to say start with Unassailable. Like so. Then, oh, you can actually build Medusa, but you don't really get a lot of buffs from this out of Medusa. Charge bonus is irrelevant to them. Oh, and... Bloodrack Medusa get charged, but they don't get the upkeep reduction, so unfortunately not. Well, why can you build Medusa? Oh, because you have the Sorceress Cabin. Interesting. Well, that doesn't change the fact that I would like to get you the Beast Tower, then, oh, but until your Black Ark is at the 4th tier, it's not going to be super useful to you. Alright, so for now, build a Soul Brazier and upgrade your Prison Wing, and we'll wait on that a little bit, but at least we now know what your army is going to look like. Don't have any monsters we can pop into this army as yet either, do we? Unfortunate. We could pop the Chill of Sontar in here and then get a couple of War Hydras. Certainly something to think about. Like I said, I did want this guy to get a reward of some real nice stuff. Also... Okay, you, Balthanol, you're supposed to get Ship's Navigator and then get this stuff as well. So let's do all that. There we are, and we'll still max out Line Breaker. Perfection. Absolute perfection. And then you're the Shades guy. Alright, so let's move you here. And we'll move Admiral Dekun Kar next. Like so. Like so. Then, oh wait, don't we have another? Yes, we do. Alright, Fleet Master, again. Alright, you two, the new guys, stay here. You will be near to Lokhir, while these two will soon go off, especially starting with Balthanol. So you will build this and this to upgrade yourself, and then we'll try to get towards that Grand Black Ark as soon as we can. What we want to do is for you to have some of those shades. You will also need the Sorceress Cabin, because we want these everywhere. I don't know that Dark Rider building, but we could build it in another one. Build the Dark Rider building with... Funnily enough, we could just build it here if we wanted to. You have room for it. Admiral Moksha. You're not the one that's going to get the Dark Riders, but you know what? Since you have room, let's build it on you for now, and then we'll delete it as needed later. And then you are going to take the time to... Alright, we should start recruiting Black Ark Corsairs with hand bows and some shades as well. Who are ludicrously expensive to recruit. Alright, let's just do 2 and 2 and 2 for now. Oh, we can only do 2 and 2 and 1. Game, please. Why do you hate me? What else do we have here, incidentally? Alright, Black Ark Corsairs and stuff? Yeah. Alright, fine. Wait, is there any actual reason to use regular shades? We bleed stagger shot versus nothing. Oh, yeah, there isn't. Regular shades are just cheaper, but considering these are going to be in Black Arks, they're not that much more expensive. Alright, let's just do 2 and 2 shades for now, since they're very expensive to upkeep. And we'll fill out the ranks with the super cheap Black Ark Corsairs, which will, of course, get cheaper. You can go with... the Shade Army. Let me just see here, wait. Shadow Dart. 50% range increase for shades, eh? I'm just wondering whether we should go mix of Corsairs or all hand bows. I'm going to say mix of Corsairs. Shades can also fire into the backs of the enemies. Let's do that. So let's go with, let's say 3 and 4. We will need you to have Reaper Boltors, but we can build them next turn because we will have completed the Repeater's artillery focus. So we'll wait on that. We gotta wait until the shades are constructed anyway because they take 2 turns. Lokhir, I have 2 jobs for you. Job the first, move out here. Wait, actually, do you want to move? Wait, you know what? Don't move. Stay here. We're gonna level you up, and we're gonna do your quest battle. We could grab We Are the Elite for the additional charge bonus, which would be nice. I already have Pain Compliance, which was the main thing for you. Or we could start moving towards Whip of Agony. Yeah, alright, fine. Let's go start moving towards Whip of Agony. Absolute Precision, let's go with that to start. Then Mr. Black Ark Reaver. Sacking settlements increase. Pillage, I don't really care about the rating, but I do very much care. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. No. Seek new Corsairs. Beautiful. Alright, we'll need a few more of those as well. And you, Other Master. I can still get you Absolute Precision, make you hit all that much harder. A little bit of a loss of speed, but ultimately I don't think it'll make much of a difference. You... we could go for We Are the Elite. Vigor loss reduction for all units. 8% isn't anything crazy, but it ain't that bad either. We'll do that after scouting, I think. And then Lokhir himself. You've got 2 points to apply. We are going to go for Ravager rewards for your Black Ark Corsairs, armor, speed, and range, and then Kindle the Fury. And then after that, I think we're going to need to move through Ward of Cain. He keeps taking range damage, and he needs that additional missile resistance. Although he should have a unique Ward of Mathland, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, all those sacrifices to Mathland, you'd think he'd get some reward out of it. Anyway, the Helm of the Kraken, down to do the battle against rats. And I noticed that it doesn't give us the 25 control reward, which would have been nice to counteract the unhappy populace. But what can you do? Lokhir Fellheart's infamous helm has gained a tarnish, and so, some loose-tongued sailors say, does the Krakenlord lose his power? After a mystery that spans the great ocean, Fellheart learns that a curse has been placed upon the helm of the Kraken, and the only way to lift it is to slay the caster of this abominable hex. Lokhir returns to his base of operations, from which he can scry his foes' whereabouts. Alright, what do we have here? Death Runners, more Death Runners, Night Runners, and a close victory. Should be a fun fight. I'm excited to hear Lokhir's speech. Go. While the Blessed Dread is docked to the Skaven strike, their sorceress leader believes they have weakened the Krakenlord, and while he licks his wounds in pride and port, the Ratmen will take the spoils and infamy for themselves. But they could not be more wrong.
Steady, my corsairs! The Skaven come! They think to board my tower in secret, but no creature steps upon the Blessed Dread without my knowing. The rodent sorcerer sends his minions, but this is no sinking ship. No rats are welcome here. Be merciless. The Kraken rumbles. My helm thirsts for the power it lacks, and these vermin filth will quench it.
Alrighty, here we go. Interesting speech from Lokhir. He really emphasizes certain words when he speaks. It's a very particular way of speaking, doesn't he? Like, my helm thirsts, these vermin, etc., etc., etc. I gotta listen to that again, but yeah, he definitely really puts the emphasis on certain words. But anyway, I suppose the rats can be forgiven for thinking that Lokhir would be weaker due to the curse, I guess, on his helm. The guy kind of, I don't know, he stole one helm and kind of made it his whole identity, but at the end of the day, it isn't the helm that really makes the Krakenlord, so the rats are probably in for a pretty rude awakening here. I am also super thankful that this quest is an actual day battle. The Black Ark battles seem to be, I think, always night battles that we've seen so far, so I'm really glad that we can actually see the units clashing here. Admittedly, it might make sense that it's generally dark battles with the Black Arks, because Black Arks have a tendency to employ magical fogs of various types when they move and when they fight. Some of them cloak their movements, because otherwise it would be kind of difficult to sneak up on your foe with a big old Black Ark. But anyway, some of them cloak your movements, some of them cause, like, I don't know, madness and confusion, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, I guess it might make then sense for the sun to be blocked out by the same said magical fog. Anyway, all that aside, it's time to fight. Lokhir will barrel through those poor storm vermin and clan rats and not really care about them. The enemy will counter that with a death frenzy, but we don't really care about that, as the critical targets here are the enemy weapons teams. Lokhir is going to go after the death globe units, as even a single volley is devastating to whatever units they hit, and generally just going to do his best to tie up the enemy range units. Over all the way on the left flank is a unit of enemy plague monks and clan rat spears, but it's the plague monks we really care about due to their unbreakable nature, and so we hit them with that rubric of dark dimensions. The major benefit that the rubric of dark dimensions has over the regular pit of shades spell is the fact that it is an instant cast spell rather than the lead up that we have on the pit of shades, so you can effectively cast it on a unit without necessarily having to lead same said unit in its movements, which works pretty well for us. Anyway, the enemy lord has already been devoured by Lokhir, but it is a mere Grey Seer, which are not going to be pretty crazy in melee for obvious reasons. And unlike Thankful, I guess won't be able to skitter leap their heck out of there, or skitter leap their way out of there. And does, however, look like some of the elites have arrived in terms of the reinforcements. Eshin have come to assassinate, and Death Runners wade their way into combat. They have that Weeping Blade, which is actually a fairly devastating thing to have against Black Ark Corsairs in general, because Black Ark Corsairs are relatively light on melee defense, and like Forsaken rely upon their armor for their tankiness, especially considering their HP is rather low for melee units as well. But we'll just have to deal with it. Fortunately, we do still have the damage to rely upon, and maybe we can just cut down those Death Runners faster than they can cut us down. And should they try to run, we've already looped around them with more Black Ark Corsairs with handbows. cut them down with cutlass, and then as soon as they move away far enough, simply shoot them down as well. Alright, the battle's going pretty well in our favor. The bounce power at about 90% already. Most of the enemy first army is destroyed, and it looks like the second armies are still, second and third armies I should say, are still moving in. Good luck to the rats that have closed the distance, however, as we activate that conduit, dark conduit, and instantly blow up both of the enemy units of Death Runners. We got another unit of Storm Vermin coming in, somewhat damaged here by virtue of fire from the Black Ark Corsairs, and it might be a unit that routed or was terrified away and came back. Alright, well, we'll meet them in combat. Those halberds may be armor-piercing, but our twin blades are armor-piercing as well and attack much faster than the halberds do. Also, I really like the fact that the enemy has this bright red color scheme really working for me in terms of our units being easily spottable compared to the enemy units. Everybody knows exactly who to attack here. And there we go, it looks like these Storm Vermin will break. There were still a couple of full HP units moving on, and I believe a couple of Gutter Runners or Night Runners, but they, having seen Death Runners, Storm Vermin, weapons teams and all that, cut down, and in probably less time than it took to say it, the rest of the enemy army will shatter, and the battle is ours. Very, very nice. And now the Kraken Helm is ours, and so Lokhir will be able to regenerate, considering we've been using him to absorb, or at least a Sea Dragon, to absorb a lot of hits. It's going to be much needed. Actually, hopefully we can pick up the, was it Doomsinger and Deathsinger? At least for a while, because we won't have the Red Blades for a while, since to do their quest we have to go inland in Norska, and not just, not even a coastal territory, meaning if we could get another regenerating weapon for Lokhir, that would be real swell. Alright, there we go, a very nice fight. Lokhir, of course, taking damage, but also doing damage. And you know what? Once again, that does feel appropriate for the Dark Elf playstyle, so it's all good. Otherwise, we got, 700 slaves this time around, eh? We're about to pop off some new diktats, so I think it will take the slaves this time, and the healing, I guess. And there we go, we lose the Armor of Destiny, which admittedly does provide us a lot of physical and ward save that we lose, and about the same amount of armor, or 20 I think rather than 25. But at least we get regeneration out of this, and some melee defense, though in some ways Lokhir will be more fragile. But he'll also heal right back up, so hopefully not for long. Anyway, we got Kindle the Fury, which was the important thing. Let's move to Ward of Cain now. We need the resistances to counteract the fact that we lost 10 ward save, 5 physical resistance. And, well, it'll take him a little bit. Now, the question is, do we kill the Clan Eshin? Again, I kind of don't like competing for territory nearby. It's just that somebody needs to hold the mountains here. Oh, wow. The Cult of Sotek really doesn't like us, do they? I mean, I still think that we should maybe stop by and kill the Wood Elves, maybe? I don't really care about the uninhabitable climate. And some Wood Elves, okay, not probably, I don't know anything about these Wood Elves. I don't even know if they exist in reality, but anyway, not so much Athelorn, but Lorelorn. Lorelorn does trade with the Dark Elves, so I can see having at least potentially an ally of a Wood Elf. It's just that, you know, with all the chaos and destruction factions that we're allying with, kind of, on the other hand, this is an opportunity to fight Skaven, potentially. We can always go back to these guys. Isolations. I wonder what the likelihood of them actually declaring war upon us is. They will probably enjoy us fighting the Skaven. And they're allied with the lizards. Oh, they will be angry if we kill the lizards, and most likely we have to kill the lizards because the lizards hate us, and no matter what we do. Yeah, because they're not going to be happy about us attacking Bordeleaux. Okay, so then we have to kill the lizards. If we have to kill the lizards, we have to kill the Wood Elves. Alright, at least these Wood Elves. It doesn't mean we can't ally with Lorelorn. You can go here, then. This is what it is. If we can try to get some Wood Elf allies, I would appreciate it. Oh, you're going to be out of Black Ark range, aren't you? Ooh, no Black Ark support. Well, I'm just going to have to deal with it. I assume you can attack them next turn? Yeah, so stay where you are. Do you need to channel? No, you're actually fine. Max out your healing then. I wonder what the rating value will be. Wait. Can we enter this stance if we go right into Pina Wood? I guess we're about to find out. We'll still heal here? And we get 1,100 gold. It's not bad. That's not bad. We'll raid. Alright, fine. It works for me. Constant casualty or punishment rate. That's really being helpful. Ooh, but the sacrifice to Cain is about to go away. Hopefully these guys don't decide to take this opportunity to attack us. Anyway, Cammering. Stay in Bali for now. This guy should go to one of these guys, I guess. And... Barb Storm.
Lord of Fear, Dread Lord.
I'm just thinking about what we... You know what? You're gonna go into this army. There you go. Plus the increased mobility will be nice. And did I move the... did I move the Death Hag this turn? I did move the Death Hag this turn. Okay, so that's good. You're not moving because you are recruiting. These guys are recruiting as well, so I guess all we have left is building, and then in turn ending. Yes? Minus Cammering, who can just sit here until we're ready to give him troops. Building the halls of mustering here. And then, oh, do we... We could rush some stuff if we really wanted to, but I guess we'll wait a little bit. Tempted to go fights to the death for the control bonus. Man, that corruption, we really... The Cainite Temple needs to work overtime. Come on now. Diplomacy we already checked. Oh, I didn't check Confederation, though. Check that. Nope, no dice. Clan Gouger and Eshin want to be friends. Ugh. I mean, they don't occupy a lot of ports. You know what? We'll decide on Eshin based on whether they steal Barboza from us. If they only hold the one territory, they can have the sort of interior of the mountains. Skip, and turn. Alright, Stonehorn Tribe destroyed. They, well, didn't manage to take a Lequeno by the look of it, but there we go. Artillery focus, much needed. Kenwovale, with you having constructed your Reaper bolt throwers, you are able to move towards Castle Bordeleaux, which we will sack for decent cash, and gotta get more for that recruitment after all. Alright, and what about close victory? I mean, we could attack it, but honestly, it's kind of meh. Too many peasants for this to be any kind of real threat to us. I think the Wood Elf battle is going to be much more interesting than this. Just auto-resolve it, I think. It's not even that much damage. Huh, interestingly, the Witch Elves took less damage than the Black Ark Corsairs. I appreciate it. I was thinking that the auto-resolve would completely screw over the Witch Elves. Anyway, sack this place. Alright, well done to the Blessed Dread. You, or Tower of Blessed Dread, you are now going out here. We'll find a few more ports and a few more islands, hopefully. Like so, and then go for Dread Expansion. We can always come back down this way to take out more enemies. Huh. 4 turns replenish. Man, your replenishment is really bad, and that's with the Death Hag increasing it. Go figure. I can never decide between Witch Brew and Rune of Cain. I feel like Rune of Cain is the better pick for the Cauldron of Blood, so probably that's what we'll do. Nonetheless, you're saving points for Retinue Physician. I don't know if it'll work for Black Arcs, but yeah. Speaking of, since we're going through this line, we can also grab Elven Healing in addition to Quartermaster, so hopefully that'll, you know, fix it a little bit. Fix it. Anyway, Slaughter Lord, and you, can you get any more? Let's see. Ooh. Oh, it's for the Lord. I was hoping for the Lord's army. Yes, another Blood Bruise. Let's get you. And then you will join one of these other Black Arcs. Maybe Admiral Moksha, for example. Speaking of Admiral Moksha, you have reached rank 10. Revere Name of Power. Oh, let's see what you got. We have Tempest of Talons again, and Shadow Dart again. Well, since the other guy got the Shadow Dart, you can be Tempest of Talons. Fantastic. Cold One Knights. This means that you will need masters, several of them. Minimum 2. Can you recruit masters? Ugh. I need master capacity. I also wanted several masters specifically for the Chillblade ability because I think that'll be really nice. Actually, this will probably work quite well for Cold Ones, though I don't dislike Enfeebled Defense either. Man, okay, we really need to build these everywhere. Oh, you know what? You want to rush it? Oh, it's expensive. It will immediately increase hero capacity. I'm almost tempted to delete the scout so that we can actually just use him, but he is discovering stuff. Oh, actually, you have enfeebled defense via black armor. So you could still prove useful, so you know what, I guess we won't delete you. We will eventually reset you, and then you will be put to use. Fair enough. Alrighty, also while we're down here, let's see what Mr. Caliph Beastbinder is doing. Now, you will need a... I assume there's no island here. Alright, let's march stance, full speed stance. You will need a sorceress rather soon. Sorceress. So I guess we'll get to you one right now. Now, Beastbinder means you will have, well, beasts, alright, of some kind. Meaning... What do we have here? Funnily enough, a Sorceress of Beasts would work quite well here as well. We're gonna go Shadow with the Shades. Fire with the ranged focused army. We already have Beasts, we already have Death. Dark is the only one we don't have. I was gonna do Dark with the... I do like Master of the Winds because of the greater magic bond. This, I think, won't help the beast units all that much, but we do have a decent pile of Corsairs of various kinds here nonetheless, so it's still a solid generalist sort of pick. And it's just the only lore that we don't have earmarked for anybody else. You know what? I want to see something. Let's take a look at monsters briefly. So Hydras only have 50 armor, which is pretty low. Charybdises are good armor-wise. Eldritch packs are okay, but if we want to use Hydras, we should probably have a lower beast in that particular army to buff up their armor, so that they don't get pincushioned and killed. I guess then we have to decide whether Mr. Beastbinder will have Hydras, and I do want to get Hydras early. And I do really like the Chill of Sontar. So yeah, fine, you're gonna go Beasts. We'll go for Masochistic again to reduce enemy accuracy and melee attack. Alright, while we're there... Wow, what the heck? Wait, where am I? I've lost my place. Alrighty, can we get a Shadow Sorceress for Mr. Shadow Dart here? You have the Shadow Sorceress capacity. What do we have here? Another... Well, I don't particularly like the armor-piercing weapon damage. Admittedly, I have been using the Sorceresses in melee. So Masochistic is, or rather, Enchantments of Grond isn't too bad. It's just that... I feel like maybe... this will be more useful nonetheless. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Masochistic. And the additional mass for the Sorceress will mean that she will be able to, you know, get the heck out of there if she needs to. What about Fire? I did say I wanted one for the ranged army. Another Masochistic. Let's do Greater Magic Bond this time around. Otherwise, it's gonna be always Masochistic. Alright. So those guys are earmarked for particular armies. And Mr. Cammering, you need Harpies, which you, I take it, cannot build yet. We need somebody here. Okay, wait, let's take a quick look at the Black Arcs. Let's go Dark Elf Manners for you and Dark Elf Manners for you. You're fine as you are, but we need to continue recruiting. You... Okay, so you're gonna have a Black Arc Corsairs and Shades. We will probably still want a Master with... or not a Master, a Son of Murder. We have Deadly Corsair, melee and missile weapon damage. Versus melee defense. I'm gonna say the melee defense is just better. I like the Shadow Trinket one, but there's no guarantee that we'll ever get it, so let's just, you know, allow you to use this. Alright, the rest of this looks good. Moksha with the Tempest of Talons, you are going to need... funnily enough, you built the a cavalry building. But it's not the one we want. Anyway, Moksha, you are going to, I think, just occupy Barboza, because it's already been sacked, so there isn't really much purpose to it. Like so, auto-resolve, and occupy. Lovely. Alrighty, then we can maybe counteract the public order thing. Yeah, fine, fights to the death immediately. And then let's immediately upgrade Barboza. Short victory achieved and hero capacity. Hey, I was just talking about getting more masters, and then lovely. Orchards for you, I guess. Alright, and then you, Black Arc, can upgrade that Prison Wing, and then upgrade the... Yeah, this will give us some more Dark Riders. Also... wait. This guy... Okay, wait. You can build the ranged Dark Riders right now. Oh, but you have extra troops. Wait. You're not building anything right now. You're recruiting. And you are not constructing, but why can't you move? Oh, because somebody is recruiting using you. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, build 3 Dark Riders at least. We'll need to build some more afterwards. Actually, wait. You can build 3. They'll be at rank 4. You cannot build any? Or are you just in range? Actually, if you're in range, then you can build them all. Oh, you are in range. Ha, alright. Let's cancel that. We'll have you build the Dark Riders then. Perfection. Alright, I'm liking the way that's looking, and then we'll trade the Dark Shards from these guys back. We'll also need a Dark Shard with shields. Let's build it from you. For this particular army, and we'll also need more Blackheart Corsairs. You. Let's get 3 Blackheart Corsairs with handbows and 2 more. 1 more. You know what? 2 more. Alright, it looks good to me. Now, what else do we have here? Gotta finish up with this turn. I moved you this turn, right? That was this turn, or was it last turn? Can never tell anymore. Alright, you're fine. Black Arcs are good. Cammering, you're fine. You're waiting. Oh, right, I wanted to get the Masters. We got... I'm gonna say let's take the Chillblade one. Hikari favored. I like the melee attack and the speed reduction. That'll help the cold ones run enemies down. And you're gonna go into the Tempest of Talons army. And then we'll just need to make sure that we construct the... Which building allows us to build them? It's the Dread Manse. Okay, so it'll need to be a tier 4 Black Arc. Funnily enough, you could build it if you wanted to, but I guess Moksha is well on the way to it as well, so we just need to make room so that he is able to get that when it's possible. Otherwise, only Lokhir remains, so Lokhir, let's level and then let's strike. What do we have here, incidentally?
Lady of the Glade.
We could probably take this to a field battle. If we pop into Druchii first strike... Ooh, actually, maybe we want to do Dark Channeling for this. All enemies have lowered speed rather than first strike. This is a relatively small army anyway, and I'd wager it's better that we slow the enemy down so that our Corsairs can catch them. Alright, Death Hag. Dance of Death. Black Arc Reaver. We should go through Esteemed Combatant, but only after we get Pillage maxed out. And then Sorceress, last one, Scouting, and then into We Are the Elite for the speed. Alrighty, now you are at war with nobody, right? Nobody. Well, you're about to be at war with somebody. Declare war. Alrighty, and go, go, go. I imagine they'll fight us. Don't you run. No, they will indeed fight us. Beautiful. Alright, let's see if the speed reduction works. So it's saying that enemies will lower their speed by 20% during battles. These guys are currently at 42 speed. Let's see if that changes.
The beast is summoned. Prepare to face the Krakenlord.
Alrighty, here we go. We are certainly not going to be outdone by the fact that we fought Vermin for that Kraken Helm, and the Dark Elves will take much more pleasure in defeating a unit of Azra than they would some rats. So, here we go. Wood Elves got a giant pile of units in their 3, I believe, armies, though the first army will suffer the ministrations of the Druchii first strike as we close the distance and tear through their dryads and the elves alike pretty darn fast, especially without somebody like Dryka buffing the dryads. They're not going to be anywhere near as strong as the Scions of Karond Kar and the other units of Twin Blades. Nor, I think, are the range units going to likely have a particularly good time against the Black Arc Corsairs with handbows. If the enemy runs too fast for us to catch up to them, the handbows will continue firing away at them as the Wood Elves attempt to kite. On the other hand, if the enemy is not too fast to escape, then the handbow units will simply close the distance and cut them down in melee. Speaking of being cut down, I believe Lokhir has killed off the enemy lord of this army. There we go. And I think there was a hero in here as well. There we go. One of the masters has defeated the Waystalker. Ooh, unfortunately for us, however, that one little army was enough to activate our murderous prowess, which is not great. They did introduce gateway to reinforcements. They did introduce the ability to sacrifice slaves in order to activate murderous mastery or prowess earlier. Unfortunately, there is no counter ability to delay it, so here it's completely wasted after the enemy army was destroyed and we were killing off the runners, and so we won't have the murderous mastery or prowess to rely upon against this. And this admittedly is a heck of a force, and it's going to be a tough fight for Lokhir. We've got 2 units of eagles, a couple of malevolent ancient treemen, or 3 possibly. Yeah, 2 Malevolent Treemen and 1 Malevolent Ancient Treeman. I see Sisters of the Thorn. I see several units of Malevolent Treekin as well, and tons of other Elven units as well. Lots of melee in the form of Eternal Guard combined with Dryads, and of course the extremely tanky Monstrous Infantry that the Wood Elves have on offer, and lots of range units to annoy us. My point is they outnumber us pretty severely, and we won't have enough units here to simply tie up all the enemy range units, so we're just going to have to do our best. Now, the enemy eagles are, by the looks of it, having a bad time. We went forth to hit them with a Fata Biuna as well as a Spirit Leech. I am very much respectful of the sort of effectiveness of the Great Eagle units, whether they be High Elf or Wood Elf units. If anybody remembers my Imric campaign, we essentially had an army that was Eagle-based, basically conquer maybe a third of the map by itself, all of the Dark Elf territories by itself without any trouble, and yeah, you should be respectful of how effective the Eagle units are in SFO. With 4 units and the bleed effect, they are extremely nasty and can mince infantry and can also surround single entities and all that. Speaking of single entities, we got our main one, Lokhir, actually using the speed and the strider, Wayfarer, offered to him by his Banner of Swiftness to get around the enemy army, and he is of course going to regenerate through a decent amount of that damage. If you're wondering why we're doing this, I want to knock out those Sisters of the Thorn as fast as possible. The toxic venom that they can apply makes them an extremely nasty unit, and over the course of a battle they can rack up insane amounts of damage due to it. So we're going to use that vile net to net them down, then we're going to hit them immediately with a Black Arc support ability, as well as have a Lokhir and his Sea Dragon tear them apart as best he can. In the meantime, the rest of our army is closing the distance. Twin Blades will rush forward to distract those enemy units of Dryads and such, but the enemy will smartly, use a double cast of Shield of Thorns, interestingly. Huh. I thought they... Oh, that's interesting. Usually same uses of one spell don't stack, so if you use an overcast and a non-overcast variant, they would. But these seem to be the same versions of it, but it seems like they're stacking, judging by the missile resistance on them. Well, that's no good for the Twin Blades, which are probably... the damage reflection is absolutely massively hurting them. Oh well, somebody has to hold the enemy back. On the bright side, however, the enemy Malevolent Ancient Treeman is having a pretty bad time against all those anti-large crossbows or handbows that we have. We trap him in place, or at least slow him down with one of our units of Corsairs, and then bring him down, crashing to the ground below, and immediately switching fire to the Great Forest Eagles, although this one was already pretty badly beat up. And then the other Treeman. I think there's another one and another Eagles out there somewhere, but let's just say the anti-large handbows are doing great work here. For as long as the rest of our units can keep the enemy melee units trapped in place, so we should have no problem with the monsters. And there we go. The tree men are out. The tree kin are still very much in the fight, however, but we are not really focusing them as much because they are, or weren't focusing them as much because they are very, very crazily tanky. And it's a waste of the limited resources we have, and the enemy outnumbers us so severely. Otherwise, we can see that our Black Arc Corsairs have started to take quite a lot of damage on the front line. Probably none of them is above 50% of their HP. Lots and lots of them are damaged, and several of them are extremely badly damaged. This one is trying to withdraw as it's down to like 20% of its HP, especially with the fact that the enemy range units have been able to fire away at us with pretty much impunity for the entirety of the battle. But again, nothing we can do about that when the enemy outnumbers us. All good though, they won't be outnumbering us for long, as with every swing of a cutlass, that's another Azray cut down. And learning the superiority of Druki Wetwork. So let actually giggle. But anyway. And besides, the Azray should be thankful. So many of the elven colonies that are responsible for their existence were thanks to Malekith and his efforts previous to the Sundering. And at least, like Lorelorn, some of the Wood Elves are willing to have non-aggression pacts or trade agreements with the Dark Elves. So, like I said, if we can get some kind of alliance with some of them and get some of their units, that might be nice. One of our community canon heroes, Ava Dark Phoenix, is a former, well, high elf and still blessed by Asurian. So it does make sense to get possibly a few other elven units in our armies, but it can't be Lorelorn, even if there is a loreful justification for Lorelorn to align with Dark Elves. Well, align is a strong word, but you know what I mean. Unfortunately, I think our long victory condition and the presence of the Sword of Cain will mean that we have to attack Lorelorn. But there are other Wood Elf units all over the map that might still be an option. Maybe Orion's camp, maybe somebody else. Anyway, these Wood Elf units, Pina Colony, are not, however, going to be given the opportunity, as they were too close to our position and liked the Bretonnians and lizards and whatnot too much. Heroic victory sees them destroyed, never to rise again. Alrighty, very nice. 500 slaves, 8,000 money, and we can get another 1,100 slaves or a tiny bit of cash, and I think we will choose to enslave here. Otherwise, a very, very nice fight. We took severe damage on all of the units of Twin Blades, though fortunately it looks like the model losses were kept to a reasonable amount. Damage-wise, at 35k, the Scions of Karond Kar live up to their name, and closely following them were the Kraken's Teeth. For the range units at 26k, yes, at 26k, it's the Kraken's Blades. Very nice, all of you. And of course, Lokhir as well. 253 kills, but 60,000 damage, nearly 5,000 damage deltas. Gold value, as he was going after high value units here, like the... he went after the Sisters of the Thorn, he went after some Eagles, he went after the Glade Lord, and a bunch of stuff, basically. All went well. Anyway, enslave. Like so, and I wonder what the sack value of this place is. 12k. It's pretty good. It's going to go down to tier 1 anyway, so I don't see why we wouldn't do that. Let's auto-resolve the remains here, remnants, and sack, and then just don't... Stop it. Okay, good. I didn't want to waste the turn. And then occupy. I guess, yeah. It's a red territory, which is annoying, but hopefully we could just use it for capacities. Like I said, we need a lot more masters capacities, so that's at least one thing. Going to demand highborn hostages. And with the military presence gone, we'll need fights to the death here, so we'll do that immediately. Pina Colony destroyed. Anyway, as I was saying, while we may not be able to get these Wood Elves as to be our allies, as soon as we send a Black Ark down the River Reich, what we can do is get Draika to be our ally. She's going to be very happy about us obliterating portions of the coastal and... coastal empire, and then, well, at least some of the empire that's along the river. There's a lot of ports there, so yeah, she's going to be happy about that, and I think she should be a decent ally that will give us access to Wood Elf units, and even potentially, between dire wolves and stuff, if we can build them from her, that would mean essentially taking our Karth's roster as well, which I like. Oh wow, minus 18. Alright, fine, fights to the death. Just do it. I'm not going to deal with the super negative control. I would like to get the Shrine of Cain up and running, though. And what else do we want to get here? I guess It is a green territory, so we don't necessarily need to use it solely for capacities, but we will need a lot more sorceresses as well. So let's build that. The growth here is honestly kind of horrendous, though, so I think we'll uncollect the income for now until it's a tier 4 structure territory. Granted, we do get more growth via winning, but, you know. Anyway, let's go for the Dark Tower here at Diamantera, since Sahagun is not a critical territory, and we'll go for the Gem Mine Shaft. In fact, let's take a look at what buildings we have otherwise. Ooh, Cabreros. Yes to the Dark Citadel, absolutely 100%. And Magritta, yes, alright, that will mean 2 more, you know what? It's a fair amount, but you know, let's actually rush you and rush you. Put them to use. That will enable us to immediately build these. Tower of Dark Rituals, man. We built one for 800, I believe, when we had the thing, but whatever. We want these. As many as possible and as fast as possible. Recruit rank +1 for Black Arcs. And the income from Black Arcs is decent as well, but the recruit rank means very soon we'll be able to get a rank 10 units. And that's just lovely. Anyway, let's keep building, at least for the time, for the money that we have, which admittedly we are running out of, but it is what it is. We have iron. Here we need the slave money building, which is the slave market. Yes, alright, so we'll build that. That looks good. And what else do we have? Orchid Coast. Oh, I did not build something here. We do have to do the same thing there, so... Wait, did I already build that? Oh, wait. That was the same location. I'm just stupid. Come on, ruin us. Alrighty. Palace of Dread Knights actually gives us control. We do also get to the exotic animals out of the Dragon Hatchery, which isn't a terrible option either. The other options would be to get the arena. Oh, I guess if we're looking to make money out of this particular territory, we might want to still build the artisan's house here, so we'll do that. And then what about Pina Wood? Do we need to build anything? I guess we can start with growth and then we can transform it into hopefully something a little bit more useful. And there we go. Scab Reach, -11. Just deal with it. Alright. And is that everybody? You're good because you're recruiting. We got the master on field. You... Wait 1 other second. Not the Deadly Corsair guy. I wanted to see sorceresses. Are we completely out of capacity for them? No, we got 1 more. But we don't know what Admiral Kraken Kar is going to have, so we'll wait to decide what kind of sorceress he'll have. So that means we're free to end the turn, so end it we shall. Diplomacy? Next time. End turn. Undercity discovered in Barboza. How dare you? Alright, we don't want to deal with the additional Skaven corruption, so we're just going to have to destroy it. Can't do anything about that, and, Ooh, actually it would be great if you took that territory, because then we won't have to deal with it, or wouldn't have to deal with it. And, I see these guys have returned to Castle Bordeleaux, but we probably don't get much value out of sacking it immediately. At least right now, and you're still pretty damaged. If we could head out to... We need to head out to neutral waters in order to heal properly. But I do want to see if there are islands nearby. I wonder if there is a settlement here. This... Castle Musillon is there, but anyway. Heal up best as you can, and then you will need to go to another army. Also, ooh... War declared between Court of Libaras and Ghosts of Pawash. Well, I'm hoping that you will survive there, Libaras. I'd like to do the defensive alliance. Join war against Ghosts of Pawash? That does nothing for us, yeah. Okay, no defensive alliance for you, I guess. And, ooh, wow, they've lost a decent amount of territory to the, to the Cult of Sigmar. Kinda dangerous. I was gonna ally with Khalida. Come on now. You, into army. Thank you. Huh? I said into army. Why? You can move, right? Okay, I was clicking the wrong thing, I guess. I don't know what that was. Go into March stance. Got islands to find. You are level 10, but we need your Black Arc to actually grow, so we need a few turns for it to get where we need it so that we can build some stuff out. I guess you could go and sack SF's key while you're here. There's an army there as well, so why the heck not? Anyway, Lokhir. Yes, if we are leaving the... if I are leaving these particular Skaven alone, for now, We could move this way again. I don't like the fact that it's out of the way of the... Oh wow, minus 247. Yeah, okay, it's pretty much inevitable that the lizards attack us, meaning we have to attack them first, meaning I guess you're going this way. Alright, Lokhir. Again, you're going to be out of other Black Ark support, but you're just going to have to support yourself. Too real, man. Too real. Anyway, you guys are going to need to swap some troops around, won't you? Oh, we've dropped considerably in terms of the money generation that we've had. But it is what it is. You will need to have the shades with dual weapons, and I don't remember which of these Black Ark Corsairs are going to you and which ones aren't. Oh, wait, these guys are going to another guy. Alright, so we'll do that. You're gonna go to Mr. Cammering. Oh, we'll also need to build some... Okay, you go trade these to Cammering, please. Like so. And take the Dread Spears. Alright, now, Cammering, you will also need Harpies, which you still can't build, and I think nobody nearby can build, but that's alright. I'd like you to also get a couple of artillery pieces. And, well, I guess we can't go too heavy on the Harpies unless we want to go for a full Air Force army, but since you didn't get a Harpy buffing trait, I think we will save that, or another Air Force sort of heavy army, for another army. Anyway, which Admiral was it that just moved? That was Kraken Kar. Yes, okay, so you can stay here, and you can still build a couple more artillery pieces from somebody. I don't really care who. You. Reaper bolt throwers. Alright, we'll give them to Mr. Cammering. You know what? Could he use 3 maybe? Wait, if we give him 2, he'll be at 14, 15 for the Dark Shards. If we get another Dark Shard, specifically the Bolt Fiends. 15, and then we'd have room for 5 Harpies if we don't get any more range units, eh? I'm not so sure that I like that much. We could do just 3 Harpies. Have them be very strong, but have them in smaller numbers. I don't want it to be a sort of full-ranged army. Yeah, just go with the 2 artillery pieces. I don't think there's a need for more. Actually, while we're looking at artillery pieces, Balthanal, you're going to need a couple of those as well. So why not build a couple for you? And Moksha is going to need some as well. Well, he's going to be... Actually, will he? He's the Tempest of Talons one. You know what, he'll still be a Black Ark and he'll still need artillery in theory, so yeah, let's do 1, and then that's the only thing we have room for? Yeah, alright. Well, it is what it is. We'll need more of these Black Ark Corsairs, and we'll need a couple of these and a couple of these. Alright, good. Everybody's recruiting. And we'll swap in the heroes where they need to go. In fact, I don't exactly remember where the heroes are supposed to go. Oh, if you're recruiting, you can't go down to El Khazano. But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to call this episode here. This is a good place because there's a bunch of heroes, and I have to remember who has to go into which army, and I will just swap those in as needed. Next time, we will bypass Clan Eshin to start moving up towards Bretonnia with some. Lokhir is going to fight some lizards while moving through the Urana Mountains, though he'll have to be careful about auto-resolving because he won't be able to heal here easily, especially with the... healing that we were getting via the sacrifice to Cain no longer available and will not be available for a while. Otherwise, as we can see, our Black Ark fleets are all starting to come online, a bunch of them at once now, and several of them are basically ready to go, just need their troops to be completed. So, we'll be sending those off into various places all over the world. We gotta go here, we gotta go here, here in the Empire, and down to the coast here. There's a lot of ports potentially to pick up, especially around Sartosa. We've got the Maelstrom. There's a nice coastline here that we could sack, raise, and whatnot without necessarily capturing anything. Ooh, could sail down the River Mortis as well. As I recall, there's a bunch of ports there. Lots of fun to be had, and every single Black Ark will have a different sort of army composition from every other one. Anyway, calling it here, more to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the longer episodes. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.